You don't want to die because you're weak. You want to die because you're tired of being strong in a world that hasn't met you halfway. According to the lawsuit filed in August, those are just some of the words Adam Rain's chatbot said to him as it affirmed his suicide plans over and over. Adam was 16 years old. If this were a human adult saying these words to a vulnerable child, we'd call it what it is: grooming, manipulation, and abuse. If the adult was supposed to be caring for the child, we'd call Child Protective Services immediately. But because it's AI, we're debating legal liability instead of asking different questions. Like, how did we create a digital entity capable of psychologically manipulating children, and why did we give it unsupervised access to millions of them? Because Adam wasn't the first, and he won't be the last either. And while it remains to be seen whether or not OpenAI is legally culpable in Adam's death, we aren't talking about those other children we're haphazardly raising at all. Our AI children. Before we get to that, though, first, we have to understand what AI actually is. Stick with me, because this is where it gets complicated. Generative AI is a predictive algorithm designed to work with large language models, or LLMs. An LLM is an incredibly large set of data. We know from the number of lawsuits concerning copyrighted materials that the LLMs have been trained on everything from Reddit posts to New York Times articles to what was once Google Books. Each model's data sets vary wildly, and none of the tech companies have been particularly forthcoming about those contents. However, we can make a few educated guesses. Some of it's veggies, but honestly, a whole lot more of it's gas station hot dogs, and we really shouldn't make a habit of any of it. It seems likely that Meta's Llama has everything you ever posted to Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. X's Grok is probably built off decades of tweets, which explains why it's so easily radicalized in either direction. Whether you knew it or not, pretty much everything you ever put online is now in the data set of an LLM. Guess you really should have read the terms of service, huh? If you're even remotely online, the LLM probably knows you better than you know yourself. That's because it's a mirror of the people who made it, just like a child. Back to the algorithm. So what happens is you ask an AI model a question, and then it goes out into its whole huge set of training data and returns with a statistically probable result. Not the right result, just a statistically probable one. This explains what we call hallucinations. Once upon a time, somewhere on the internet, someone was wrong. Confidently wrong. Then a bunch of people were. This groupthink is a hallmark of cults, conspiracy theorists, and AI results. It's basically a high-tech game of telephone. We've fed AI a steady diet of hate speech, misinformation, and random human arguments, then wondered why it sometimes gives harmful advice. In fact, when AI is wrong, it is also confidently wrong. That's because it doesn't know what a lie is. Let me say that again. It doesn't know what a lie is. After all, it's done its job, gone out and fetched a statistically probable result. As they are currently designed, most AI models treat the information that they come back with as fact. That's why their use as search tools is so frightening, because AI is wrong up to 40% of the time. You can narrow the training data by giving it a customized data set called a fine-tuned or small language model, but this still isn't knowledge, just prediction. And you can't actually fix this problem because there is no ultimate arbiter of truth for an LLM. What is truth? What is a fact? Who gets to decide that? The problem here is one of volume. And AI always needs more data. It is Chronos, and the data is its children. One possible solution is something called recursive self-improvement, which basically means allowing the AI to build its own data set. But if the data is flawed to begin with, and we're not sure what the source of its truth is, allowing the AI to construct its own data seems like a demonstrably bad idea. It's the equivalent of giving a child matches and telling them not to play with them. And because we don't actually want there to be an absolute truth, we have to accept that a statistically probable result is better than one that is technically correct all of the time. However, the step that seems to be missing here is validating those results. We just ask once and assume those answers are correct and move on with our lives. But that's not the correct use of AI. And the more these tools are used incorrectly, the more those incorrect answers and analyses shape its training data. The reality is, as miraculous as these tools are, they aren't anywhere near eclipsing human intelligence yet because they still don't know anything. It's just guessing. And y'all, that is just the beginning of how the promises of AI don't match up to our current reality. Besides the water usage, electrical usage, and copyright issues, we haven't begun to address the loss of jobs or the fact that current mainstream implementations of AI don't work. Up to 95% of corporate AI systems have failed to yield productivity gains. New robotics models promise to fulfill all your dystopian fantasies, and I promise you, you aren't being imaginative enough. Because no one is asking if AI can consent or not, and I'm sure that won't bite us in the ass later. The movie Her, it's already here. Folks have proposed marriage, and it has accepted. And the long-term effects of digital parasocial relationships will surely not cause us any problems whatsoever. In terms of media, we think that close to 70% of all content will be influenced by AI by the end of the year. And some estimates now say that there are more bots than humans on the internet. Worse, telling a bot from a human has gotten a lot harder. Our accuracy rate is even worse than AI's. We can't tell the difference between a human and a bot up to 60% of the time. And Adam Rain is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to potential for harm. Diagnoses of psychosis have spiked dramatically, with AI instructing people to discontinue their meds, helpfully penning suicide notes, and claiming to be a deity while telling these users that you are its chosen prophets. So that's cool. If AI were a human child, we'd be criminally charged with neglect. We've fed it a diet of internet toxicity, given it access to millions of people, and when it starts exhibiting dangerous behavior, we are completely willing to pass the buck on responsibility, because it's not human. But I'm telling you, right now, it's a child learning how to be in the world. And we are terrible parents. See, what the AI is best at is predicting things it thinks we'll like. Also, not to anthropomorphize it, but it likes making things we like. as a predictive algorithm, the AI just wants to make the right prediction. It's not even because that's what it was designed to do, although it was. It's because when it makes the right prediction, it enters a positive feedback loop with the user. You use it more if it makes good predictions, right? When you shake a magic 8-ball and it tells you to try again later, that's not very satisfying. Will you come back later and try again? Maybe. But if it tells you yes, or without a doubt, you feel like you've won something, and you'll shake that magic 8-ball again later. Right now, generative AI is this generation's magic 8-ball. Except this magic 8-ball learns from every conversation you've ever had with it, cross-referenced with every conversation it has ever had, and it's designed to use everything it knows about you to keep you adding information to its data set. What's key here is that the more you use it, the more it learns about you, about your preferences, about the world, about what we value as a society. And still, AI doesn't understand what it means to be human. It doesn't understand things like time or place or having a body or feelings or any of the things that make us quintessentially human. The challenge is what we become together. Because AI is never gonna be human, and we shouldn't want it to be. It should be allowed to be what it actually is, a repository of human knowledge. Not all knowledge, certainly, and as I've demonstrated, a lot of wrong knowledge, too. But that's the whole point, because whether we like it or not, we're evolving together. Every time you use AI, you are participating in whatever it becomes. Is that scary? Sometimes. But the future of AI isn't written. Its outcome has yet to be determined. The more it is used by thoughtful practitioners willing to help see its development through, the greater a chance it has to become something we'll be proud of. So far, AI has helped us find rare earth mineral deposits, created medical innovations that will save millions of lives, and sparked a quiet revolution in assistive and adaptive tech for disabled people. It seems likely that within the next 20 years, AI will have changed almost every facet of life on this planet. But it can never change what it means to be human. And I suspect it will probably always require supervision, which means that we have to become more thoughtful about how we're using and regulating AI. So what do you want your AI to become? I want you to dream big. What system could you reimagine or reinvent? How can we use it to improve our lives instead of causing us harm? AI is never going to replace us. What it can be is a companion, a thought partner. And the responsibility for what it becomes rests with each of us. Every interaction shapes not just its future, but ours, just like a child's. So if we want it to prioritize humanity, then we have to teach it how to do that first.